Aloha from Kilipohe, Keikani Aloha. Well, we're back on the GC2310 and working on the steering. The steering cylinder was totally shot. So I ordered a new cylinder from Kubota, which looks to be about the same. The only difference is the piston, or rather the rod, is half an inch longer. So I'm going to have to make that up on the ball joints. My ball joints are completely shot. And the ball joint, the threads that go into the end of the rods on the Kubota is different. So really it's going to cost me about $500 for a new piston, 2 new tie rods and tie rod ends and nuts and clips and everything. But I'm hoping it's going to pretty much bolt in. I opened this thing up and checked the fluid and it was pretty low. So I realized I should put some more in, and when I put it in, it all just kind of leaked out. So yeah, so it all just kind of leaked out of this joint here, which there should be a seal in there, which there isn't. I have opened this up with a pry bar and everything, and you can just see the water's just running out of it. So this hasn't had good oil in it for some time. So I don't know if I can do this one-handed. I should have grabbed the... Yeah, thing is like full of water. Hold on. Okay, I got a couple of gasket scrapers in here. Let's see if I can't pry this thing off a little bit. You can just see the goo coming out. There's some oil coming, so it's not all bad. I think we're free all the way around. Hopefully we're not stuck on the you know, if the shaft is rusted into... Oh, here it comes. Don't want it dropping. Oh, it's probably stuck on these pins. There we go. Big reveal. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to come out like this. That's how the manual says. Hold on a minute. Yeah, so there's a bunch of schmoo, water. Seems like some bearings are moving. This bearing is pretty much frozen up. I'll have to pull that off. Looks like the teeth are in reasonable shape, at least from this vantage. Yeah, probably that bearing in there is shot. The reason I took this off is because, you know, when I put that oil in here, of course, like I said, it all leaked out of here. Yeah, I mean, so I'm aiming to replace this seal, but it looks like I'm going to have more bearings to do. I mean, yeah, I mean, this rolls freely, but, and yeah, I can move the pinion down here, so I don't think it's totally shot, but I mean, definitely this thing has got to be removed and cleaned. This is really, that's really bad. Okay, well, I'll come back once I get this thing torn apart a little bit more, and maybe we'll have some more updates then. All right, aloha. Okay, well, a little post-mortem here. So I ended up taking, you know, the whole, I don't know what you call that, I guess, final drive on the left side of the front axle off. I mean, you know, there's obviously a lot of water in here, but, you know, that sounds pretty good, although there is some rusty oil on everything. You know, the gears, I get the line on it. There's a little bit of surface rust on them, but it wipes right off with a little bit of elbow grease, a scrubby pad. Bearing race is fine. Spline is fine. The bevel gear, is this a bevel gear? I guess ring gear, same thing. I'll probably just wire wheel this. A little bit of rust off. The hub, you know, I polished. This is where the seal rides, the hub seal. Polished that up a little bit. It's a little better. The snap rings, a little corroded here and there, but they'll still hold the bearings in. So once again, this is all the good stuff. You know, these guys were really, really crummy before I clean them up. So that's all good. Voila, goes on. Bearings will go in. The bearing surfaces are okay. There's a little bit of shmoo on the where that seal rides. These guys, you know, those bearings, they sound just fine, I think. They move just fine. You know, a big seal goes here. That'll all get cleaned up, wire wheel. I haven't done any of that stuff yet. So, I mean, there's some work left to do, but it's near the end of the day, so I thought I'd get this out. Okay. Doesn't want to come out. Yeah. Circlips are all, you know, not rusty at all. So, cool. We're gonna move forward to that. What's the bad stuff, you ask? Well, let's look at these bearings. This is the upper rotation bearing, what's left of it. This is the lower rotation bearing, and you know, doesn't look too bad, a little bit of rust, but man, it does not move. It does not move. Where's this? I can't remember where this goes, but I think it's in the hub. The bearing's very loose. It feels like there's sandpaper in it. This one doesn't move. This is the lower bearing for the pinion, and it barely moves. So I don't know, maybe a lot of this stuff was spinning in its housing. This is the outer seal for the hub, and you know, it's aged, but it was leaking. And then this is the seal that I started out to look at. Look at all that crud in there. So new seals, new bearings. Clean it up, lubricate it, and put it back in. That's my plan. I'm not going to mess with the differential. The differential is going to have to do, and then I'll do this side as well. You know, you can just see there's tons of crap piled up in there, and it did not come apart easily. All those bearings were pretty frozen in there. You know, these two those two bearings in there, maybe. I don't know. I could change them or not. My feeling is that water just sat in the lower end of this thing. You know, everything below this point here, it was just full of water, maybe some oil, and they were a mess. I mean, this stuff was just covered with rusty goo. So, all right, that's the update. Aloha.